I just wrote who I'm going to pick. I didn't write an intro.
That's fine.
That's my intro.
Scaru!
Last week, you heard Javian talk about the Capcom roster in Marvel's Capcom Infinite and say how they could have changed to make it better. He gives a pretty good list, and hopefully I could do the same with the Marvel side. The deal with the Marvel side is that all of them is trying to push something that Marvel wants to be pushed, mostly the movies. If we live in a quote-unquote perfect world, I'll assume this would have been the roster. The way I pick my characters is similar to Javian's, what they represent, but I'm doing the added thing of how would they affect the story. So without further ado, let's get on to the list. Rocky Raccoon and Gamora are two really good picks, but since I believe only one of them should represent Guardians of the Galaxy, I think one could have been replaced easily. I would say Gamora would have been replaced with a different gun and sword user. And my gun and sword user that I would have picked would have been dead Blade. Blade the Vampire Hunter. The reason why I picked Blade is because he never been represented in a fighting game before, and it would have been cool to see him. His dialogue with Morgan and Dante could have been fun and interesting. And I think in addition to him, he could do a lot more stuff than gun and sword, since he has a lot of weapons. All in all, I think Blade should have been over Gamora. If not Gamora, then it should have been Rocket Raccoon that got replaced with Blade. Doctor Strange is fine. Hawkeye, he could go. He could go real easy. Yeah, let's get rid of that Hawkeye. Since Hawkeye is just a dude, he could have replaced with another dude, like Daredevil. I think Daredevil would have been a cool pick. He would be new and he would be pushing the Netflix shows. His moveset could have been him using his sticks and be more all over the place. And let's be honest, does anyone still like Hawkeye? No? Also, if they wouldn't pick Daredevil, I think they could have picked Moon Knight. Well, maybe Moon Knight. Let's stick with Daredevil. Who remembers Moon Knight? Ultron's fine. We already talked about Gamora. Ghost Rider. Okay, Ghost Rider was a weird return, and to be honest, my feelings on his return was weird, to say the very least. On one hand, it's cool to see him back because, you know, he's not pushing anything really. He's not pushing the movies, he's not pushing the shows. He seems like an out-of-there pick. But, I don't know. Maybe he could replace him with someone new. Maybe another weirdo like Wonder Man. Oh hell, even Spider-Gwen would have been fine. But I'll leave it up to Insavian and see how he feels like on editing this.
Spider-Gwen.
Iron Man's default Thanos is a cool return. Nova could have been replaced with Iron Fist Luke Cage. I'm leaning more towards Luke Cage because he'll be new. And it will also be pushing the Netflix series kind of like Daredevil would. Also, he'll be kind of a pseudo grappler with big heavy punts and grapples. And in the story mode, he could have been fun. Kind of having a bro muscle feud with Hagar. Or Rhea could throw a punch at him and see how invincible Luke Cage really is. Either way. Hulk is part of the Avengers, so he ain't going nowhere. Captain Marvel. Does anyone like her? Last time I checked, her sales were down. I don't hear people talking about her. I don't think people are excited for her movies. Does anyone like her? Please raise your hand. Not you, put your hand down. So anyways, I would have replaced Captain Marvel with a fun, goofy character. Kind of like a joke character. Could have filled the void of Felicity. God damn it, how do you pronounce the cat girl's name? Darkstalkers. Felicia. Someone to fill the void with other joke characters. Maybe like someone like Squirrel Girl. Even though she's technically part of the X-Men, they still try to push her separately because how popular she is, and her sales are doing fantastic. And she won't do much in the story, but she would kind of been the comic relief. Kind of like how Dr. Slump is in Dragon Ball. Someone who is invincible, but really doesn't do anything. Thor is part of the Avengers. Captain America is part of the Avengers. Spider-Man, so he can sell the game. Dormammu, not Ghost Rider, guy with Firehead. He could go. I would like a returning character in Shuma Gorath. Because at this point, he's kind of a legacy character. I think the only Marvel vs. Capcom game he hasn't been in was in the first one, but even then he was in Marvel Superheroes. And in the story mode, he could have been like the big omnipotent being. Maybe he could have been the rival for Ultron Sigma. Maybe. I don't know what I'm talking about. And that was my list. We have some new guys, people who should have returned, and we have the other guys I didn't talk about. Thank you for watching, and who would you replace on the Marvel side? I know Marvel has a big, gigantic roster of superheroes, and no, I didn't talk about the X-Men or the Fantastic Four too much, because I want to keep it in the realm of possibility, minus Skrull Girl. But if you're ahead of Marvel, and you got to pick the roster for the Marvel side, who would you pick and why? Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and we'll be seeing you next time.
What was that?
What a thrill in darkness and silence in the
I
night.
can use this for the outro.
What a mountainside.